Impact Africa Television. Explore, entertain, elevate.
Presidency says Buhari's 2011 statement to rule for one term no longer applicable. UK APC vows to pay for Buhari's nomination form. Niger launch coordinated airstrikes on Boko Haram terrorists. In business, the federal government owes electricity company 4.4 billion naira. And on the foreign scene, Trump cancels first trip to Latin America. Good evening and thanks for joining us on News Round again tonight. I am Femi Fafiebi. Now the news in detail. 24 hours after President Muhammadu Buhari formally declared his intention to run for presidency again in 2019, more reactions have been trailing the development. The presidency says the statement President Muhammadu Buhari made in 2011 that he will only be president for one term is not applicable anymore. Spokesman of President Muhammadu Buhari, Femi Adesina, made this known today in an interview with a television station. Adesina said Buhari had entertained pleas for him to be president for the past 1 year before declaring his intention. The president's spokesman said the declaration would not affect governance, saying the president had just picked the right time to make his intentions known. He said the president may be re-elected on his achievements in security, reviving the economy, and fighting corruption. The All Progressives Congress United Kingdom chapter says it would pay for the expression of interest and nomination form for President Muhammadu Buhari to recontest in 2019. The chapter made a promise in a statement by its spokesman, Jacob Ogushaye, today in Abuja, following Buhari's declaration that he would seek a second term. It said that the president's declaration was reasonable and satisfactory, adding that his second term would make Nigeria stronger as well as preserve the tenets of democracy in the country. It stated that the chapter's expectations had been met by Buhari's declaration and assured that it would work assiduously for the electoral success of the APC at all levels. The UK chapter of APC added that Nigerians should consider the re-election bid as a major step to consolidate and reinvent the country into an emerging economic and democratic world power. President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate asking it to confirm the appointments of 23 members of the National Population Commission in separate letters which were read by Senate President Bukola Saraki at the plenary today. Buhari also sought legislative approval for the appointments of a national commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission and two non-judicial practitioners as members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. The FJSC nominees are Senator Abba Ali from Katsina, Northwest, and Mohammed Sagir from Niger in the North Central. The INEC nominee is Festus Okoye, representing the Southeast. Parents and guardians have demanded a reversal of the increased school and accommodation fees for medical students in the University of Ibadan. This was the consensus at a stakeholders meeting held today over the controversial tuition hike, which had attracted protests from the students. IETV's correspondent Olutayo Famous Cole, who was at the meeting, reports that stakeholders equally called on government to increase funding to tertiary education in the country or face mass action.
The University of Ibadan is not a fully residential institution. The total student population is about 27,000. There are only 8,722 bed spaces, and the school's management is only able to provide 30% of the total accommodation needs. The deplorable state of the halls of residents has always been a source of concern to stakeholders. In the past, residential students paid 14,000 naira. The school has jacked it up to 30,000 naira. Non-residential students even pay more. Recently, The Senate approved 75,000 naira for non-clinical students and 100,000 naira for clinical students. This, to some parents, is unacceptable.
We have common adversity, and we know that the people that will eventually be responsible for the shoring up of that deficit are the most bastardized entity in this country. I think we have to treat it first with a human angle, right? And be gradual about it. What am I saying in essence? 100 million. 100 million. Is it not possible for us to calculate what will bring about an increment of 50 million? Let us carry 50 million. We have about 8,000 of them there, according to your website. And I'm sure that an increment of about 6,000 to 7,000 will give us about 50 and 60 million. I think whatever decision the university needs to make, this is called a stakeholders meeting. We should be there. That is not. We do agree that all the hostels are in dilapidated condition. It's not the first time. It's not recently that it's been like that. It's been like that for such a long time. But I think the increment should be gradual, not immediate.
The UI management tried to justify the increment. It says cost of training health professionals is on the high side, while its proprietors, the government, has long stopped the management of hostels in the university. The Vice Chancellor, however, appealed to parents to toe its part of reasoning.
Our plea to this distinguished audience is that we seek the cooperation, understanding, and assistance of all our stakeholders in order for us to continue to train high-quality and employable graduates who are fit for purpose.
Interestingly, a couple of parents are on the side of increasing school fees. This was a source of discontentment amongst parents, as many were not too comfortable with certain comments.
I was lucky. We were part of the people that paid 90 naira for accommodation. And my last one is currently in 400 level now. I think the second speaker spoke very well. We have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. If you compare how much things were, in those students are paying 90 naira. Of course, everything has gone up. But notwithstanding, I think the university authorities should encourage the parents and additional before making the decision of implement.
Stakeholders here believe that for visible progress to be made, both the government and school managements across the country must ensure that the learning environment is made more conducive to fast-track socio-economic transformation. Olutayo Famous School, IATV News.
Thank you very much for watching News Round tonight. We invite you to join us again tomorrow night. Thanks very much for watching. I am Femi Fafiebi. Have a lovely evening.
Impact Africa Television. Explore, entertain, elevate.